in radio. It's all about what's next. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and sign up for your free weekly newsletter. You'll also get 3 free reports. The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.
You are listening to the Financial Survival Network. It's Kerry Lutz, and it's time for another Triple Lutz Report. This is episode 381. The date is April 13th, 2015, getting close to that awful date of April 15th. We all know what that stands for, don't we? And while we're at it, let's take a look at the price of precious metals. Where is that at? And we're looking at the price of gold. They've managed to knock it down right below 1,200, not very convincingly, though. Right around 1199.50. Silver they've been able to do a better job on, right at 1627. As far as the dollar index, that's been making a big move as usual. It's getting back up to 100. Crude, basically, we've got this war going on that the mainstream media has pretty much forgotten to tell you about. But just in case you missed it, the Saudis have sent 100,000 troops into Yemen, which is on the Saudi Arabian Peninsula, and all hell's breaking loose. Iran's going for Saudi Arabia, it looks like, and the U.S. is now an Iranian ally or something like that. I don't know. You figure it out for yourself, but the dollar's going up because anything bad for the rest of the world is good for the U.S. dollar for now. How long that will continue for is anyone's guess, but the deflationary trend continues. Crude oil's right around 51.90. By the way, this show is brought to you by Cloud Hard Assets. You're looking to buy gold, you're looking to buy silver, looking to buy diamonds, go over to the website, cloudhardassets.com. You can also reach Tom at 800-247-2812, 800-247-2812. And we're also brought to you by our new sponsor, which is Real Estate Investing That Works. That's with Mike Gazzola. You can find the iTunes podcast just by going to the iTunes store and subscribe. Highly recommend that you do. The show managed to achieve top ratings on the iTunes New and Notable for over 2 months, so we must have done something right. But more importantly, I got an email from loyal listener Al, who purchased Mike's course, and here's what he had to say. Mike, I've been watching the volumes on your site. I have several real estate course training kits, but this one blows everyone else away. No fluff whatsoever. You jump right in with good practical techniques and information that actually makes sense. I'm very impressed. I'm eating up your information with gusto. I think I found the slowest bidding method on record. You bid by mail, and it takes weeks for the bid to end. It's in Washington State, which my wife and I have vacationed to many times. I attached a Word document of 3 properties I found for less than $3,000, and the bid starts in late May. Have you ever done an auction by mail? Thanks again for the rapid responses, and sorry I write so prolifically. Al. Al's been on the show before. Great guy, fellow New Yorker. He's given us info on various power plant issues and energy issues that have taken place in New York. Al's a stand-up guy, and hey, I love the fact that he bought the course with a guarantee, by the way, because, look, you don't know Mike from a hole in the ground. I know him. I'm using the course now. I am bidding on a defaulted condo in Palm Beach County tomorrow. That's April 14th, 2015. Hoping I'm going to win it. Using Mike's methods, I've done a full title search on the property. I've checked out for mortgages. And if I win it, I should make a really nice profit. If I don't, I've got two other properties later in the week that I'll be bidding on. But Mike is a genius. He's a master at these foreclosure sales and other techniques as well. I just happen to find that in South Florida, you're going to get the best bang for the buck on foreclosure sales. So, by the way, just go over to iTunes Store, go there, search for real estate investing that works or Mike Gazzola, Gazzola. You'll find our podcast. We're up to about 22 or 23 episodes. You've helped put it on the top of the charts in iTunes. Subscribe to it. I think you'll really enjoy it. If you want the course, go to realestatesecrets.com and use this promotional code. You will get a huge discount on a course that others have spent a fortune on. I myself personally spent $1,500 on it a couple of years ago. And again, realestatesecrets.com. Promo code is T like Thomas, M like Mary, M like Mary, R like Robert, E, S like Sam, 00. Okay? TMMRES00, realestatesecrets.com. Enjoy the course. If you don't like it, he'll give you your money back. I promise you that. Hope you have the same experience myself and Al have had on the course. And let's get to some news here because there is a lot going on. You heard that Hillary Clinton threw her hat into the ring. Marco Rubio is throwing his hat into the ring for president. Trust me, it ain't going to matter. The big loser in the whole process is going to be you, the American public, because no matter who gets elected, they're going to owe so much to so many for so much of their campaign contributions that they will spend the entire time paying those people back at the expense of you, the American public. That's the way it works. That's the way it's always worked. And that's the way it always will work. So don't worry about it. It's all going to turn out fine. Just do what you have to, do what you need to do, and worry about economics and all that later. Interesting article. Wall Street's fees wiped out $2.5 billion in New York City pension gains. As this comes from the New York Slimes, who wouldn't exist right now without the good grace of Wall Street. They're saying the Lenape tribe got a better deal on the sale of Manhattan Island than New York City's pension funds have been getting from Wall Street, according to a new analysis by the city's comptroller's office, which concluded that over the past 10 years, the 5 pension funds have paid more than $2 billion in fees to money managers and have received virtually nothing in return. I bet they got a lot of good dinners and trips to all over the place on private planes that you, the taxpayer, have paid for. And this guy, Scott Stringer, he asked a simple question: are we getting value for the fees we're paying to Wall Street? And the answer, based on this analysis, is no. And until now, Stringer said the pension funds have reported the performance of many of their investments before taking the fees paid to money managers into account, meaning you just paid them and regardless what the return was. But after factoring in those fees, his staff found that they had dragged the overall returns $2.5 billion below expectations over the past 10 years. I don't understand what that means, but basically it's not pay for return. You just pay them a flat fee regardless what they do. So look, 10 years, that's $250 million a year, and they're just not paying for return. Pay them a commission on what they do and then see what happens. The city's pension system is the 4th largest in the country with total assets of $160 billion. It holds retirement funds for about 715,000 parasitic city employees, including teachers, cops, firefighters, Most of the city's funds money, 80% is invested in plain vanilla assets like domestic and foreign stocks and bonds, and the managers of those public asset classes are paid based on the amount of money they manage, not the returns they achieve. And it's basically it's pay for play. It's just a form of bribery. And this whole thing is a scam. And hey, this is the way your government works. This is what they do. And it's just it's just the way it is. And then these teachers, you got this Common Core thing. And here's a cute article. A fourth grader destroys Common Core by asking school board one question. So her name's Sydney Smoot. She's in Florida, believe it or not. And she's taken such a bold stand against Common Core. She received a standing ovation from adults at least 3 times her age. And she's from Brookside Elementary School in Florida, in Hernando County. Uh, she asked the school board last month, addressing school officials. Uh, she didn't muddle her words as she described the dangerous impact that state standardized testing is having on students. She said, the testing looks at me as a number. One test defines me as either a failure or a success through a numbered rubric. One test at the end of the year that the teacher or myself will not even see the grade until after the school year is already over. I do not feel that all this FSA testing is accurate to tell how successful I am. It doesn't take in account all of my knowledge and abilities, just a small percentage. Sydney asked one question that addressed the obvious flaw with exhaustively testing students at the end of the year. Why am I being forced to take a test that hasn't even been tested on students here in Florida? So how can it be valid and accurate on what I know? Um, you know, she also asked, why should we have so much stress about one test when we should be learning and having fun at school? Uh, this is the kind of kid you just want to say, Sydney, why don't you go play some Xbox and leave us alone so we can decide the important issues of your life, and you'll just get lost, kid. Go play with the traffic. And Sydney, this is like you want to just tell the kid, because that's why, damn it, because uh kids, you gotta love them, right? Until you want to kill them. And but Sydney's got a good point. But testing is all we have. Look, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Stop teaching them about condoms. Stop teaching them about climate change, global warming, all this crap. Teach them the basic skills and stop preparing them for college and all this stuff. They want to go to college. If it's going to benefit them, then yes, they should absolutely go to college. I went to college. Look, didn't hurt me too much. I learned a lot about partying. I learned a lot about controlled substances, all these things. And where would I be without it? Right? Oh, I just see here Marco Rubio. He announced his candidacy. He's really running for vice president. Let's face it. Um, I do like this guy, Ted Cruz, but I'm not so sure that Hillary is going to get the nod. Comrade de Blasio will not endorse Hillary. Isn't that amazing? New York Democrats, the party is so much more to the left, the Democratic Party, than it ever was. And you have to look at that and say, no, Hillary, she just gets money from hedge funds, from the elites. She doesn't care about income inequality. And, this is just wrong. How can you do this? She's just an elitist, and scandal after scandal after scandal. One thing that you got to give credit to for Rubio, for Cruz, for many of the putative Republican field is that right away, rather than turning their uh, fire on each other, they turned it on to Hillary. And that's a good thing because she is really, really got a lot of, she's got a lot of scandals, a lot of bad things in her past that the mainstream media isn't going to cover. And, they're saying that there's subliminal messages in her announcement video. Like, I can't watch politicians regardless what they are. Um, so I'm kind of immune to it. If you don't watch the stuff, then they can't get to you, basically, right? So don't watch any of this stuff. That's my advice to you. Um, and then they can't get to you. Don't watch network television news. Okay, it's very important that you don't watch it because it's all about manipulation, getting you to believe stuff that isn't true. When I was in Arizona for the holiday, I'm listening to these guys. They're from Wisconsin, saying what a horrible guy Scott Walker is. They're embarrassed by Scott Walker because he didn't go to college. I mean, some of the wealthiest people I know in the world didn't go to college. I got a friend who barely made it through college. I think he was pretty much uh, high on controlled substances through most of his tenure, sold his company to another large company for $167 million. Dollars. All right. I'm not embarrassed by him. Not at all. Um, so, hey, he seems to have done just fine. Now, he's not the most worldly guy, but a lot of the people that I know who went to college and grad school, they aren't the most worldly people either. So, you know what? And then they're just like bitching about abortion because he tried to make abortion doctors get visiting privileges at local hospitals. I'm a libertarian. I've said it before. I think you should be able to sell your freaking kidney on eBay if that's what you want to do. You own your body. Okay? Plain and simple. I don't think the state should have anything to say about it and who you marry either. If you want to marry a herd of goats, have at it. I think it's absurd. To me, I prefer to keep my marriage choices confined to the opposite sex. That just seems to work for me. But if you want to marry a herd of goats, have at it. But this is the thing we face. And then the guy on the Republican side, he just was in love with Scott Walker. Well, Scott Walker has got stones. He'll take these SOBs on. I want fighters on both sides. If they want to knock it out, fight it out, I want them to be fighting it out. But this is what happens. So, Fred Dicker, he's the Albany reporter for the New York Post. He said that the New York Democrats are unmoved by Hillary's announcement. Few signs of genuine enthusiasm from other top New York Democrats who want to see her espouse a far more liberal agenda. Doesn't want to see the state go down. They want to see the country go down. There's a lack of enthusiasm for her made clear to the nation Sunday by de Blasio's refusal to endorse her on Meet the Press. There's going to be a lack of enthusiasm for de Blasio once New York City goes bankrupt, which will be in another couple of, I can't be more than 6 months to a year off. Um, he refused to endorse her on Meet the Depressed. Uh, he prefers a Wall Street bashing populist like Lizzie Warren. And Jewish voters worried about Bamster's Mideast policies, they're going to switch Republican, uh, almost certainly. Then you got AFL-CIO President Rich Trumka want Clinton to face a primary challenge to force her to stronger stands vital to organized labor. It's just Obama is really anathema to the Democratic Party. Activism, communism has alienated the middle of the party, and that's really where Hillary and Bill really got their support. And the Jews have been alienated by this Iran treaty that's coming up. And Obama has really, really just cut them off. So it's going to be fascinating. I know there's a core of female Democratic supporters that love Hillary, can't get enough of that woman, and more power to you. But your fight's ahead because she lost last time. Don't forget that. And she could easily lose again. Wouldn't surprise me. She's the front runner. She's got money, but she had money last time. And these crazoid liberal progressives will get behind another person who they see as electable very, very quickly. So don't be surprised if she doesn't make it this time. She could very well do it. And hey, just get ready if she doesn't make it this time, because who will be the next female who has a chance at doing it? I don't know, but she's got a lot of money. But hey, did you see that Ted Cruz raised $31 million? Good question. I don't know who the next one's going to be, but I know it's probably not going to matter. And you'll get to ask Andy Hoffman about that tomorrow as well. If you got any questions about it, please do. Don't forget, if you like our show and you really want to find out more about it, subscribe on iTunes. Just go to the iTunes store, plug in Kerry Lutz, KerryLutz. And if you want to contribute, which we always appreciate, help support the show, go to clubclubfsn.com. And for $1, $2, or $10 a month, whatever you want, there's bonuses there. Please do clubfsn.com. This has been another Triple Lutz Report. Kerry Lutz signing off.
FSN Radio. It's all about what's next. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and sign up for your free weekly newsletter. You'll also get 3 free reports. The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.